Hey, don't rent me, and welcome to another review highlights video. First of all, I just want to make a shout out to the tenants of Queensland who have submitted an enormous amount of reviews in the last week. I guess we get a lot of reviews from all over the country, and it has been an extremely busy week of reviews. But an extortionate amount have come from Queensland, so great work to all the tenants across all of Australia, and in particular to Queensland for having a voice. Now, I just want to remind everyone that we get obviously a lot of reviews, and I don't have a lot of time in these videos to actually go through all of them. So again, there's been a lot of high quality, very interesting reviews, and everyone should hit the site and check them out, but I am only able to review 3. So first up, we've got a review for VNAU Real Estate in Caroline Springs, which is just outside of Melbourne. This review has quite a lot of issues, and you should check that out, but what I want to point out is the domestic violence while renting. It's a very serious issue. And Steph, our reviewer, explains how she was the subject of domestic violence while renting a property here, and the agent, who was extremely non-responsive and slow to the request by Steph to remove her from the lease, despite having an IVO out against the aggressor, and that should have been enough for the agent to act. Instead, it took I think over 2 months for this to happen. To top it all off, the agent then took Steph to the tribunal. This was to claim costs for time that the agent had to spend doing inspections, going to the tribunal hearing itself, and so on, which are obviously all things that are the agent's job anyway. But what's worse is the agent actually brought the aggressor along with him, the one who has the IVO out against them, to act as a witness against the victim of domestic violence. Now, there's already some laws in place to protect domestic violence victims, but clearly not nearly enough. Agents and landlords can sometimes be, and especially in this case, provocative arseholes. And there should be hefty penalties for people who act this way towards tenants, not least tenants who are victims of domestic violence. So, really, it's shame on you, VNAU. This person was in a position where you should not have done that, especially bringing the aggressor to be face-to-face with the victim. I mean, what was in your head? Next, we have a review from All Suburbs Real Estate in Woodridge, Queensland. In this review, Lois tells us how at 61 years old, she's been a lifetime renter with excellent references and had always been a long-term tenant. At this property, however, Lois had to move out just 6 weeks after moving in, after breaching the landlord 21 times. The landlord and agent subsequently took all of Lois's bond because she left. Now, there's very clearly a problem here. With so many issues, the legislation requires the tenant to just keep paying rent anyway, and to wait for the tribunal processes to conclude. All the while, the tenant must live with the filth and other serious issues. It's a very common practice that landlords and agents simply wait for the tenants just to make the wrong move. They make these moves, such as moving out, just to protect their own health and safety. And it's at that point that the agent and landlord strike, because they know they've finally got something to use against the tenant. And the second that happens, the tribunal just sides with the landlord. All of these repair issues don't matter anymore. And this quite simply has to end. Now, lastly, we've got another review from Queensland, and this tenant describes many issues with the property, but namely some serious urgent issues, such as a non-working oven that took months to replace. Tribunals were involved, but it took well more than 7 days for the urgent repairs to be repaired. This review does hit home for me because it's the same sort of issue that started Don't Rent Me to begin with. I went through a very similar experience. It's like deja vu reading this review. And it's that experience which inspired me to create Don't Rent Me years ago. Now, what this issue highlights is that tribunals are toothless tigers. What good is an order for repairs when the landlord just says, no thanks? So what now? Another order, which equates to a slap on the wrist? A very minor reduction in rent, when what we really need is a working oven? Do you really think $10 a week is going to cover the cost of takeout most nights because we can't cook any food? Or do you think it's fair compensation for having no shower or toilet? This is wrong on so many levels, and it is high time that our law, councils, politicians, everyone involved does what is right to protect innocent people in these situations. Now, don't forget the Don't Rent Me postcards. I'm happy to say we've actually got quite a handful of postcards to send out this week, which gives me great joy to send these on your behalf. So If you think any of these reviews are deserving of a postcard, the links are in the description. Don't forget to follow them and order your postcard today. Thanks, guys.